Hey guys, we're gonna make chicken biryani. I've had some people ask me for recipes, and I've even had people say that it would be a good idea for me to make a video cooking. So I'm gonna try this. It's gonna be really casual, and we're gonna walk you through step by step. First, we're gonna toast some spices. I've got a tablespoon of coriander seeds, a teaspoon of cumin seeds, a really big bay leaf. I've got 8 green cardamom pods and 4 whole cloves. That is over medium heat, and we're just gonna toast those for maybe 5 minutes until they're really fragrant. That only took me 4 minutes, and you've got to make sure you're shaking the pan like a Jiffy Pop the whole time, or else your spices will burn. There's really not a noticeable difference visually, except the bay leaf looks a little toasty, but now we're gonna grind them. We've got our spices ground up, so now I'm going to mix in 1 teaspoon of salt, and then I'm gonna split this mixture in 2 and put half into a metal bowl for my chicken. I had 1 chicken breast and 2 chicken thighs. It's about 1.5 pounds of meat. You could use whatever combination you have. I cut it into about 1.5-1-inch chunks, and I tossed it with the first half of the spice mixture that we just toasted and ground up fresh. For veggies, I'm gonna do lots of onions, so 4 medium to large onions, 4 medium tomatoes. I think these are like Roma or some kind of plum tomato. You can hear my dad working on the bathroom or something upstairs. Then a huge bundle of cilantro or coriander. And we're gonna use the stems too. The stems have great flavor. I'm just gonna cut like, I don't know, 1.5 inches off the very ends, but I'm gonna chop all of the rest of it up. And then I've also got some frozen chopped up green bell peppers from my dad's garden. And that's probably like 1 or 2 green bell peppers worth. But again, you can use pretty much any amount of those that you want, or you can mix bell peppers with some mild chilies like jalapenos or poblanos. I've got them cut in half, and then I'm just going to cut them into thin half moons, which will kind of fall apart. Think fajitas. All right, so we've got our veggies prepped. We've got a bunch of onions sliced up. We've got our bell peppers, or bell peppers and chilies. We've got our chopped tomato. We've got our cilantro stems all chopped up nice and fine. And we've got another pile that's a little bit more leafy that I'm gonna add in later on in the cooking and as a garnish. So now I've got our chicken pieces. I'm gonna fry them and brown them up in half a stick of butter, or you could use ghee, but I do not have ghee right now. So butter it is. Okay, so our chicken is beautifully browned. And then the next step we're gonna do, I've got a tablespoon of garlic and a tablespoon of ginger paste, plus the other half of that spice mixture from earlier. Then I've got a tablespoon of turmeric powder, a half a teaspoon of Kashmiri red chili powder, which is absolutely delicious. You can use more, but I'm cooking for my parents and me, and we don't have the highest spice tolerance. So then I've also got a teaspoon of black pepper and a teaspoon of garam masala. And so I've added 1 more tablespoon of butter to our pan, and it's nice and hot, and we're going to bloom all of our ground spices in this fat. And that is a very important step to bring out the flavors of all of these spices. And then after these sizzle for a minute or 2 with constant stirring, then we're gonna go ahead and add all of our veggies into here and another, I don't know, half teaspoon of salt. Those veggies were cooking by themselves with the lid on for 15 minutes over medium-low heat, and we're adding the chicken back in now, and we're going to stir it all around, and I'll probably let this simmer. I'll probably turn the heat all the way down and let it simmer some more for like another 10 to 15 minutes, just to make sure that the chicken is cooked and everything. Okay, so our biryani is cooked. That was 15 minutes of simmering without the meat and 15 minutes simmering with. The last little thing I'm gonna do is sprinkle a little bit more garam masala over the top, and then I'll stir that in and serve it up. So our biryani is all done. I served it up with some rice. Actually, for me, it's a mixture of cauliflower rice and barley, which is a little better for diabetes or pre-diabetes. And then I also have a simple mint and cilantro raita that I'm serving it with. There it is in all its glory. All right, so a few things. First, that recipe makes a lot of biryani, so you could easily half the recipe, or at least half like the vegetable spice mixture, and use the same amount of meat, or like tempeh or chickpeas or some other kind of meat substitute. Also, feel free to use like pre-cut chicken pieces that are frozen and thawed, or any pre-cut diced veggies. Like you could use like the seasoning blend or whatever that they have at Dollar Tree, which is peppers and onions. You can use garlic. That's what I use today. Ginger paste instead of fresh ginger like I did today. You can take some shortcuts. It's not the most authentic biryani in the world, but so every restaurant is going to make it a little different. Every region and every household is going to make it a little differently. That's just how I make mine, and it's really, really good. So I hope you try it, and I will leave the recipe in the description.